Hi, everybody. This is Lily, and this is my journal. Welcome, everyone. So it's Friday. Having some wine, and I thought I'll take some questions today. Hi, everyone. And also, I will share some of my random thoughts. So, here's to all of you that are here joining me. Thank you so much for being here. This is Lily Kolosova. This is my journal. Today is October 25th, 2019. And so here we go. I'm just going to talk about whatever. So it's Q&A. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Angela. Oh, great to have you guys here. Thank you for joining me on Friday. It's wine time. It's after 5 here. Anyway, so I figure I'm going to talk about some subjects today. So thank you for joining me. Here's my red wine. It's a blend, California Red Blend. So here's to all of you, my California girls out there. I love you. I always think of California when I drink red wine. So this is my fruit, by the way, to all of you, the rest of you that wonder how this fits into having a healthy life and being well. So because this is what this life is all about, is us being well. And actually, this is one of the things that I want to talk about today, is how to create this force field around yourself that is unpenetratable by any forces. All right, so it's a force field that this is kind of a Bruce Lee type of force field that I'm talking about. Hi, Pavel. Hey, hi. So good to see you here. Indigo, thank you. GWH, thank you. Cindy, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is great. All right, so let's have some wine on Friday and unwind a few things. So, you guys know that there has been a lot of talk in spiritual communities about. Okay, sorry, we have an invasion here. Okay, he ran away. For a minute there, he thought he wanted to be here. It was Zeus for everyone who knows him. So cheers, everyone. So here's to tonight, a casual Friday. And the wild subjects I want to talk about is how to protect yourself, or how I like to say it from the standpoint of an empowered human being, is how to create your force field around yourself, or align your aura. And this is what we talked about, is all these alignments and all this self-healings and all these things. This is your alignment and all of that stuff. And now that force field that is you, right? As you clear all this out and you heal, and then your body heals and everything, and then you got to create this force field. Because what's going to happen? The more you're going to start, I hate to use this language, but like people used to say, you rise in vibrations. But it truly is. It's not so much rise, but the more you vibrate on the creator level frequencies, right? Meaning you are the manifester because you're connected to source. The more you're going to be, like you guys like to call it, the more you're going to be attacked by parasites. And I used to say that when they used to attack me, and they used to use all those things on Facebook where they just, all those trolls just attack you and they just start arguments for some stupid shit and all of that stuff. They do that, right? And so then people say, how do you protect yourself? Well, it's not about, and now, because once we unwind this thing, how to truly protect yourself, then you will so clearly see how all those teachings that have been manipulated, the stolen, as I said it last time, how the stolen fake teachings out there, right? All of it, how it does not apply to a real creator. And so once we understand that, once we are confident in that, this is your force field, then it becomes your aura. This is the field that people, masters like Bruce Lee, could operate, except on an even different level. Like he could direct his chi, right? This is the stage one, is to create this force field around you. All right, to where it acts as protection. You don't need it, just the parasites will come and they'll bounce off of it. Okay, but then the next stage is learning how to direct your own power, and that's on all levels. And the reason I brought Bruce Lee is because he had shown to us how he can do it, how you can do that, and how you can anchor that in the physical, and you can actually do it in the physical. Okay, and so for us, that's a teaching in itself. That's a learning in itself. So for a real creator, that's like someone you look up to, is because you understand what that individual had achieved. Does that make sense? Natasha, you're so funny. You drinking beer? Okay, maybe I shouldn't laugh and drink wine at the same time. Why are you about to lose your mind? Let it free. Paradox. Once you accept paradox in your mind, you're free. Your mind will free itself. Okay? So, well, this is what happens, Natasha. A lot of people had picked up a lot of parasites by believing that they are using some kind of techniques of protection. So here's the cat. I'm going to let some cats out on Casual Friday. On Casual Friday, some cats will be let out of the bag. But here we go, you guys. So all of those techniques that are used for protection, and I've talked about this, so I'm going back to my very original videos that I did in 2014, okay, and in the beginning of 2015. And I talked about symbols in that time. And I got a lot of shit for that video, believe it or not, from the New Agers, because it pissed them off. Because in that video, I showed how Merkaba field was a parasite. And it sucks your energy. And that's what it does. And there we're all using the technique of using Merkaba field for protection. Oh, yeah. Just like with everything else. Just like they have all those children foundations to help children, yet all of that is to abuse children. Same thing here. Same, absolutely same thing. It was an invasion. It was not protection techniques. It was an invasion. Okay? Because this is how inverted sacred geometry that they use, and symbols and sigils and their magic and all of their black magic has sigils. Without sigils, they are no power. Because the sigil is what draws the power through the believer. This is why they do that. They engrave those sigils everywhere into subconscious mind and all of that stuff. This is how the invasion works. So I want to look at it from like a shamanic perspective, you guys. Right, GWH. Yeah, it was tricky because we were not, I even fell for that. So but what happened is, I don't know why, I know why, but I'm not ready to tell why. But when I tried to do a Cheyenne Deans, one of those things, my spirit went nuts and said, nope, you're not doing that. And this is actually why, because of such a reaction, that I actually went to her workshop in 2012. And that was in 2012 when I went, because when I got her material and I tried to do one and only technique that I've tried to do, my spirit did something that it never did before. And I had to investigate, you guys. I had to investigate. I could not just let it be. And so I've shared before what I found. And so there's more on that comes. But all of that is invasion. It's all that third technological strand that they try to decode, that they think it's a God code. Oh, it's a God code. Yeah, it's a Bethel God. That God is Bethel, just like you, Bethel. And you got it same way, Bethel. Basically, they think it's God code, that third strand DNA. Retards. You did not feel right. Yeah, it did not. It does not feel right. It's actually what it does is you open your aura for a parasite. So it's basically parasite attaches. But because you guys, what happens is I do have, and I think it's part of it because of having an Rh negative, the electricity in my body is a lot stronger. It's that strong that it breaks every watch I ever tried to wear. It just puts it out of out of work. So so my feminine energy that I hold in this vessel, it grew like a like a big dragon. It just said, oh no, you're not coming in here. You are not coming in here. And that was the thing. And basically my whole being, get this thing the heck away from me. I'm gonna do Stephen A. Hell no! Hell no! Hell no! That's basically what my whole being just and immediately, but at the same time, it revealed itself. It revealed itself to me for what it truly was. And I said, oh shit, I've got the head of the snake here. And it's right in my face. So I went there and did my thing, as I always do. So I listened to my intuition and I listened to my spirit. I always done it since I was like this tiny one. So these people don't affect me at all. I don't know what to say. So anyway, because of this force field, okay, This is a force field of you truly trusting your spirit. And the more you trust your spirit, the more you trust that you are the seed of God, the true God. That you don't need some kind of symbols to communicate with a God. And then if you do something a little off, that God's gonna have a hard time communicating with you. Don't you think there is a little something that's not right about that situation? No, they're all special. They're special. It's all special. They're all doing it in the name of Jesus and in the name of God and all of that stuff. It's just all good. Hi, Matt. Hi, Summer Breeze. Hi, Jane, Maria. Thank you for being here. And so, you remember my video, Maria? Okay, good. Because you know me for a long time. So thank you for being here, Maria. There's just very few of you that know me. There's just very few for that long time. But so this been a journey. So thank you for being here. And yeah, I might post that video again. I have it. I got it. I got it in my archive. So, but anyway, and this is what I want to expand on is how, how that all is a mirror of your own force field. And so this is something that I also was able to test at that workshop when I went there facing this beast, this ugly thing. So when but this is when I got really tested, you guys. Really tested. 3 nights straight, not a second of sleep. I could not close my eyes because I would be freaking eaten alive in that hellhole. I couldn't. I had to run my spirit through my conscious mind at all times. I couldn't let it go because it was a hellhole. So, but this is how they do it. And she's done it all. And the reason I'm bringing her up is because she's done it through this. This is true magic, you guys. She had convinced so many people that all of these things are them. So she had been working on convincing people that the parasites are supposed to be there. This is your savior. This is how you ascend. This is what's going on. And so they keep infecting and infecting and infecting people with this technological shit that actually what it does. And then when you are truly trying to awaken, but what it happens is disconnects your own awakening because it interrupts everything. It interrupts everything and we get sick. I mean, look at the cancer that's going on. Why is that? It's because there is parasite and it's manifesting. And people don't understand why they have cancer. That's exactly why. It's because of this. And this is the interesting thing, that some of these people and most of these teachers out there, spiritual teachers, quite a few of them actually have died of cancer themselves. Because as I explained in the past, these people don't have conscience. They will use their own people. They will betray their own people. They will kill their own people without blinking. We can, as human beings, we can understand this, you guys. But yes, because they're the test subject. Yes, Cliff High has cancer. Yes, because they're the test subjects. And remember I was talking about Carrie Cassidy? Remember, like, and look at what's her name, Laura Eisenhower. Send you the Mars. Send you the Mars. I mean, she can't even handle. I mean, her body is like exploding inside out. It's exploding inside out. It's like, it's just, these people are being used and abused. They're the test subjects. They think that they paycheck or those money that they call prosperity gonna help them. Now they're all test subjects. And then they had to, and those are the ones that I said, those are the ones that bought into the lie that they are the master slaves, the slave masters. But in truth, there are double masters. I mean, double slaves, because they've got the masters. Without the one, without their possession, they can't even do anything. This is what I did at Ashiana Dean's workshop. So I'm sitting there, and she talks about how, yeah, when guardians, I live with guardians. I ask everything guardians. I wake up in the morning and I put my feet on the first thing on the floor, and I ask guardians, how am I supposed to, live today? And everybody's like, oh wow, I wish I had guardians watching me over. Then I'm like, and I'm sitting there, and that's me, and I am not keeping quiet. I'm like, do you also ask them when you can shit? And the guy's like, looking at me like I just sent her to freaking hell. I just, whatever. I mean, and they think that being controlled like this is a great thing. That's the slave mentality. So these people are slaves themselves, and then all they can see and all they can do to others and all they can teach others teach. They say, we'll teach you. They're not teaching you, they're just making you into the slave that they are. But they take that as though they're slave masters. But all they are there is to keep you slave, because they're enslaved to that agenda. You see how it's space dust? It's dust to dust. There's no life there. There is no life. You know what she also used to activate in people? These dead entities. She used to activate them in people. She used to match people with some dead entities and would possess them. I mean, and the people will willingly do it because they're slaves. They don't know anything else. They think that because guardians watching her and telling her what to do is a great thing. I'm like, nobody tells me what to do. So many fooled, Jane. So many are fooled. So many are fooled. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So how are they going to stand when, like I said, when the magic trick is revealed, how it's done? The card house, it's gone. Because you can't keep up the illusion because the truth is so much more powerful. So much more powerful. So that force field, okay, that's the strength. This is your individual power. And that's why I've been ever since, 2015 or 16, I've been on this become a warrior. Forcify your field to where you are unbreakable, no matter what parasite shows up. And you're not going to sit there and shit in your diaper and cry. That's basically been last my 4 years, what I said. Because all of it is going to come out. But if you stand strong in who you are, and I've been here, and this is one of the reasons I've done this publicly. So I can go back and it's all recorded and it's all here and nobody can say anything else, ever. It is my own personal journey that it was ever a personal journey. I never knew, I could never tell you what's going to be in the future or anything. It was always about this energy of the future that needed to be present within the shamans first. And that was all about. And you know what they did? Every one of those fake spiritual teachers that are out there having these radio shows about awakening, about aliens, about all of that stuff. All of them, it's a big network. Connected. Oops. Okay. They're all connected. And so, but all of that, when you invert and you look at that, if it takes that much on external to block someone, then you have to understand the kind of power you have when you truly attain your own self. And that's nothing can stop you. You can just go on, and those people can throw tantrums all day long. It doesn't matter. You are who you are. And that's what I said. It's the shield of the, this is, and also about this force field. This is your shield. This is what Castaneda had talked about a lot as a warrior, how you get that shield. And in fact, in the books, there is a way of how to, there's techniques even there, and exercises on how to expand your force field. Because it's through the pressure that you got to go through. There's I don't know, the pressure. It's a quantum field pressure, some kind of pressure. But once that expands, that's it. You're like in a bubble and nothing will ever touch you. It's like I've said it before. There's even a quote somewhere out there. This freaking spirit inside of me is unfreaking touchable. Because that's what it is. It's the force field, right? And so that's where it comes from. And I've actually seen it that it comes through, but through me, because I'm a female, it comes through in that more like before I've explained how I feel that force within is like, if like a mother would see her child, in danger, she would lift a ton, a car that weighs a ton, and so it's kind of comes into play with me when there is a need for it. So I always count on that. I never doubt myself. So thanks, you guys. So all right. But there is techniques, and a lot of people that, like I said, once you realize that that people throw out there and all this subconscious mind triggers, okay? But when you are truly on this shamanic awakening path, as you want to call, whatever you want to call it, your own spiritual path, your own alchemy, enlightenment, I don't care. I really don't care. As long as you follow your joy, whatever you want to call that process of finding your own inner joy and being able to express it and have it as within, so without. When you get to that, this is the 5D reality that none of them can ever figure out what symbol will ever get them there. Because there is no symbol that will get you there. There is no stolen symbols that will ever get you there. That's for true. That's true statement. There's no symbols that will ever get you to that space. It's all inner, sort of inner work. It's complicated. Right, Naref, that's just, it's, you feel, because this is what, especially like, and like I talk for mothers, right? It's the sign of that, of that higher power, because this presence of true God, because that's why that innocence, the little babies, that's the presence of true God in our reality. And this is consequently why that innocence is being used and abused, because of the nature of the infection. So, it happened to me once too, and something else showed up. Yeah, I totally can see. Yeah. It's not that, it's just became visible to you. That's all it is. It's your perception. And so this is how you guys can, here's the exercise. I'm going to talk about exercise, how to get like centered and get into that field yourself, so you can then try to expand it or force that, because it actually very like it's a lot of force. But before you want to do that, before you want to practice that meditation of expanding your aura or being that field, do this exercise, okay? I've talked about the like a baby breath with your tummy and all of that stuff. That just sets you centered, sort of in your body. So do that, if you don't want to do know how many, like I can do a few breaths and I know that I'm just breathing now normally. Once you do that baby like a stomach, you do the belly breath 21 times. And that kind of puts you into that centered sort of body, mind. And so your brain then can access all the waves that are there. Okay. So that's the breath. You do the breath, but then if if you're not well practiced in that quantum resting place, do another exercise. Get a kind of, get into the room or in a hallway is probably the best, in a hallway, and do this exercise, at least 7 steps. So just kind of do 7 steps and go forward 7 steps with your eyes open, okay? Then the next time you close your eyes and do exactly 7 steps with your eyes closed that you just did, okay? And while you're doing that, you have to register, pay attention. How does your mind restructures to where it's now have to perceive its external reality from a whole different level? Like you have to close your eyes, but you have to now, so everything else, everything in your body will have to do a little readjustment, okay? So now by paying attention to how your body readjusts to perceive external reality through a different senses now, right? So you basically going from seeing it to just using everything else, okay? And so what does it do is just your body will do its own sort of way of how it restructures, how it perceives external. And so now you are through that, now you have that feeling of how to change your perception, how to switch perception, okay? And so now the same thing, why some people meditate with closed eyes is because that's what it does. Well, when you do that with movement, what it will teach you is actually to always perceive your force field, to always perceive you're in the movement and in all of that stuff. That's why I said, my meditation, I can never sit still. My meditation's walking, running, and all of that stuff. That's my meditation. So anyway, so I mean, not that I can't sit still at all. I do sit still at all, but I don't do those meditations. No, never. All right. Do you guys have any questions? So if you have any questions, put them in there because I'll be finishing up soon. Okay. All right. So if you want to also, like if you're familiar with Castaneda, go find his quotes on how to expel these flyers from your aura. That's basically, I think that's how he puts it, from your aura, or from how to expel it and all of that stuff. And so that helps a lot with, if you want to do that quick and expand. But doing these exercises, and so then what you can do, then open your eyes again and then do that same thing again with your eyes closed. So try it a second time and see how fast your body goes back. The second time, it will go back a lot faster. And you will walk a lot straighter. You'll notice that because you'll bump in things first time and all of that stuff. It's actually a funny, you can have people look at you and tell you how your first time, and so you can practice and even do it a couple of times, and you will see how quickly your body can remember to change perception. Okay. And so this way, then you activate everything. And the reason you do breathing for that is because your chi, where's your chi? Right? It's the third chakra. So your belly button, right underneath the belly button, this is the portal, right? So that's why you do the belly breath first, because you want to get rooted in your body, meaning rooted in the earth. And that's how you root yourself. You breathe. That's what babies do. That's how they stay anchored. Yeah, it's easy. And so you do that first. So you root it, and then you do that other exercise. And this changes to how you think. And so then you can go into meditation, or you can go into that space to where you confident that the source is within you, and then you just go and try to feel it first. See if you can feel anything without anything thinking, and focus more on feeling in the body, how it feels. And this exercise that I talked about, that with closed eyes and open eyes, walking and all of that, and paying attention how everything changes, your balance, how you walk, how you perceive height, length, and all of that, everything changes, and your environment gets shocked. And so once you shock yourself a little bit, then when you attempt to go into that quantum field, that's when you can perceive your mind's already like a train, and the vibrations are already there, and you align. This is how you know you're aligned. So two modes of ascension. Natasha, you said you had a question. Okay. All right. So let me first ask you, before I go into questions, let me ask you, you guys, how is this little steps on how to achieve this, how to go forward with starting to, building that shield, because that's what it is. You're building a shield for yourself through the energies and the frequencies that you vibrate through this your own source connection, so that you manifest that in your own energetic body, what it is, which is your aura. Okay, you guys? The hara, the belly area called the hara. Okay, thanks, Pablo. All right, so I'm going to go into that question then. Okay, I think Marilyn Moore is, you had question. Okay, why do some say ascension is causing physical pain? Well, because this is goes back to, it's not actually ascension, because cannot be ascension through the technological DNA. There is no growth. It's same. And that's why it's stuck in that past timeline. And so that's why it's because it's inorganic, okay? So what they've called it ascension is actually an infection or a net that surrounds human being energy and human being, and so it makes a human being into a slave to that technological reality or technological structure. Okay, it's like it makes an individual into a Borg. And so when that happens, this is like assimilation into a Borg reality. And so what happens then? The body has to go through all the changes. And so pain means it's indication of what? Something's not right. Something's not right. Something should not be there, right? And so then there's people, of course, because like I said, they whatever this slave masters they do to others, they think that, and that's why I call them special, because they believe and bought into lie that they're not, that they're safe, that they're not gonna, be treated like slaves, but they are. So anyway, what happens is, because all of their ascension, when you think about it, it's all about mental sort of effects. It's afterwards. It's never about, their ascension teachings are never about how to create your reality, and how, it's never about creation, because they don't know creation. They don't know creation. They're trying to decode creation. And that's why they're like trying to all the structures and everything. Just look when I mentioned Nasha Nadine, how many symbols she had and how many things she had. And they tried it in this side and this side and that side and everything. That is literally a transhumanist agenda, what she was doing. And people bought into it, and they've infected themselves. And so that's what happens. And so it's a nonsense. It's just an infection. It's salesmen for infection. That's what ascension teachings are. Those are the salesmen for ascension. So that, and then The two modes, Natasha, you ask about two modes of ascension, organic versus AI. So basically they say, oh, it's AI, and then they say, oh, it's good for you and all of that stuff. It's smarter than you. Well, in their case, they're kind of right. But it does not apply to a real, to somebody who's a universal seed, who has the true father. That's the DNA, who has the true DNA of the true father. It will come down to genetics, you guys. That's another cat. It will come down to genetics because it's just codes are codes. There some, there's living, there is already, they have it out there, a living third strand DNA and how it acts. It's actually unwinds, unwinds two strands, and then it goes, they don't know what structure it follows. It just does whatever it needs to do because it's in oneness now. That's what this third strand, the real third strand, is just reunification, and it just does whatever it needs to do because it's driven by the God code. And they're trying to figure out God code so they can copy it. That's all they're figuring that stuff for, so they can copy that through their technology. So Randy Green, Summer Breeze, I've listened to her few videos. I really enjoyed them. She talks of some interesting stuff that some of my older videos, I've touched on some of the subjects, not like directly, but some of it and so I followed her for a while, and then she kind of stopped making videos, and I don't know if she's making them again or not. I used to subscribe to her, but I told you guys they've been messing with my YouTube. And even though I'm supposedly out of Facebook, none of my posts really show up anywhere. So, Okay. So, any other questions? This failed experiment. Yes, exactly, Summer Breeze. And I mean, we've seen that. And this is what I tell to people. I said, if you think that AI is going to win this thing against true humans, we would not even know what the hell happened to us. We wouldn't be talking about the subjects we're talking about. We wouldn't even know what the heck hit us. So that AI ascension ain't happening. Because it just ain't happening. Because there is just, they don't have enough blood anymore to run their quantum shit. Genetics is consciousness. You're absolutely right. DNA. Yes, Summer Breeze. DNA. Why do you think they're so obsessed with our DNA? Yeah, so much for junk DNA, right? They would be so obsessed with it. Right. Junk DNA. Yes, it's all about genetics. Yep. And so it's because that the other one is that it's borrowed genetics, the stolen genetics. Stolen like everything. Keep stealing everything. And source code is to win. There is no, okay, my son plays computer. Can you really win against computer? No, I don't think. So it's just the same thing with source code and God code. They can't win. But they're too stupid to see that, so it just, I guess, so I give my permission to give myself, I give myself a permission to make fun of them. Like Gary Cassidy. It's like, or I also make fun of Wilcox. Blue image, blue image. Blue image. Blue image. Oh my God. These people they're clowns. So, hey, I'm doing my part. Okay, you guys. Well, it's been 50 minutes. This wine is starting to hit me. Yeah, see, the thing is, it cannot, and that's why even I say the Bible is true. It says that the end is coming, the destruction is coming to that reality, to that God. It does. I mean, they should have read the book. They really should have, but they didn't. They read it, but they couldn't understand it. And this is Angela. Yeah, the DNA, and I've talked about blood too, but the DNA, of course, is a lot stronger. And so when you have, and so as I said, as you understand this, the universal seeds, that's the universal DNA for a human being. Okay. And so that's the original DNA, was like they used to say that it was 12 strand. I think it is because I know that my thing is 12. So it is 12 strand, but as you can see in the net, in this reality, it doesn't really, it's not linear. So it's like spherical. It's weird, but I don't see things in 2D. I see them in 3D in my head. And so it's difficult for me to put it on paper a lot of times. But I try, some of the things of the structures and things, but it's almost impossible to put it in 2D from 3D because it's living energy. But it's like a kaleidoscope, like you looking into it and it changes, it changes constantly. So it's like, so when they have those, fragments, because that's what it is, because what they will do through trauma on the body, they would fragment the mind, and then they would extract that symbol. Okay. And then you will have that either sigil or symbol, right? But it's in its fragmented form, okay? Because it was extracted through fragmentation, because you can't steal the whole whole thing, into fragmented mind. It won't never. It's like trying to run a quantum computer through, and then connect it through your 1970s computer and try to run it with the phone thing and try to, it doesn't work. It's just none of it will work. Neither the mind will be sane. It will fry. It's just not going to work. And so that fake AI thing, that's the third strand. And they want to call it AI ascension. All it is they want you to become that like them. And instead of a living third strand, accept their artificial reality. No, thank you. You can shove it up your ass like I told you last time. No, thank you. Yes, Summer Breeze. It's and then organic. You activate yourself, and this is what I say. And this is when you become more and more anchored in yourself as a creator being, and then your actions become of that sort, and then your external reality aligns with your internal. There is joy in your life. There is presence of living energies that surround you, and you are not trying to look so hard into that fragmented energy that is thousands years old that a living being was expressing, and they've fragmented it and then extracted it, and then they put the power behind it that it's, it's power. It has a power. And so these people study this and they go, this is the power of the universe in all these doodles. And you look at it, it's a bunch of doodles. I can do those doodles every day. I, in fact, done it. You guys remember my doodles? Hi, Diane. You made it. Hi, Diane. Here's to my California girls. Another one, Diane. I'm drinking California wine. And random subjects. So yeah, that's how they want it. So why are all the retarded media, alternative media of those like Cliff Hydes and Randy Morgans and those people, that are now, they're Walking Dead, basically. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Although I gotta say, Chris Geo, you tried, and I appreciate it. He did tell them his dream that they're all going to be rounded up, and he made it public for them. So you guys can't tell that he didn't tell you. He told you guys are all going to be rounded up. So thank you, Chris. You did a good thing. Good thing. You told them they're all going to be rounded up. You did. You did good. So I appreciate that. I do. I really do. So thank you for, making it public and letting them know. So I appreciate it. So that technology, and this is why this nanotech, and this is why I said they wanted to envelop your blood with it, because it needs source of energy. None of that tech can sustain itself. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I say that the future timeline is not going to have these people incarnated in here. It's just not going to happen. They're slowly going to just... We were going through evolution, and those, it's basically as simple as that. And those that cannot grow, which every one of those people that have bought into this transhumanist path, or, some of them like Illuminati families, they don't have a choice. It is their genetics. It's their faulty genetics. That's what makes them special. That's special. It's genetic fault, and there is nothing they can do. It's just that none of that genetic disorder is going to be normalized here. What we are standing for, we are saying, no, we're not going to normalize this crap. It's not acceptable. And that's it. That's basically, it was always going to happen. But of course, it was predicted by so many, you guys, so many. Absolutely true, Natasha. You can defeat nanotech. You can. It's not like, it's not like, but you can. It's not, but you can give in. Think about it. How can a computer take you over when you can just unplug it and turn it off? The same thing with nanotech. When it's in your body and you're like parasite, know how to flush it out. Because what it does, without you feeding that parasite, it's going to die. It's going to die. And that's what you do. You don't give in into any of their ascension bullshit that they do with all of their tech. There is this other lady that pretends that she is better than Ashaya Nadine. What's her name? Lisa Renee? In California? All of that shit is stolen from You know where they steal it from? Children. When they fragment their minds. This is all of that information, by the way. Why do you think I'm even naming these people, guys? Because here's another cat out of the bag. All of those teachings, those fragmented teachings, how do you think they were stolen? Who gave those teachings to Lisa Renee? Who gives those teachings to Ashaya Nadine? Let's look into those demons that they call guardians. Let's look at those guardian demons that have been guarding this planet for how long? They're going to be pretending to be our guardians. So how do they get that fragmented symbols and all of that stuff? And especially those that I talk about. Fragmented children's minds. That's how they steal it. And that's why I'm not going anywhere. Because this is what they do to get those teachings for you so they can trick humanity. But they're using children and abuse. I think I'm going to leave them alone. Think again. The mystery schools are more than corrupted, Alicia. So thank you for joining, but don't even start with your shit. Don't. Because you're out of your league here. You're so out of your league, you don't even know it. Well, I don't know, Angela. I don't know who gave them the right, but somebody did. They think they never had the right. They just took it. All right. So I guess it's over because I have to go, you guys. We got to go have dinner. Hi. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Until next time, it's been over an hour. Bye, everybody. Stay wild out there.